world.
So now it's recording. Hopefully my voice will be nice and clear.
So, again, and just from the one call I was on with Alice and just the brief correspondence we had and how we connected, is a thread about escalating things to the federal level, right? And I commented yeah, except they're all complicit and it's a broken system too. Like, I can
You know what
tell
our
you.
problem is, right? Do you know what our problem is?
What are
we talking? Yeah, but what are we talking about here?
Broken systems?
But what are we talking about here? I'll tell you in a minute, but not just broken systems. Yes, we know they're broken, but what are we talking about?
How to get anything done?
Everybody is so focused on suing and, oh, it's broken. So what? Who cares? That doesn't solve any of our problems.
And that's why I wanted to put this there, because it doesn't, right? So all of these people saying, oh, I filed my petition. Oh, it got I can already show you and tell you exactly what's going to happen.
That's why I don't do what you're doing anymore. I stopped. And if you feel like you need to do it, yes, because it gives you comfort, do it. And it gives us more of a paper trail, but it doesn't really help.
No,
it helps you. It gives you a peace of mind, and that's help.
It doesn't really, but it's more about whenever things come to a reckoning, there is not a single person that can say that they did not know, because they're named, they're submitted in evidence with the emails. They cannot claim, oh, it wasn't an emergency or lack of evidence, or that's why I'm doing all of this. And if you open the first federal case, for example, you'll see the actual petition I submitted. You see that they stalled it for months. Yeah.
Can I stop you for a minute? So what were you doing while you were sticking these files in the folders and organizing stuff and sticking on the drive? Were you doing anything or just doing that?
Just doing that.
So this is my problem. So I pay for this hunk of trash that I hate, but this feature works awesome. If you would have said, you know what, can you just talk to me and let me explain why I'm moving these files and why I think it's important, we would have had a transcription of all the work you did and why it was important to you, but you didn't do it because you think you need to work alone. You think people don't want to hear what you have to say. And we need to teach people, hey, people like Ricky are out there. They're not doing anything. If I'm busy right now, I can take my cell phone, add another call in here, mute this, go walk to the bathroom, go take my dog outside, and you can keep telling your story, and I can ask questions, and I can pay attention to you and not ignore you. I can be in my backyard talking to you while this is being recorded, because this, not to be rude, let's pretend you're defending Kathryn Dressler. Why didn't you call me? You just missed out on a ton of information you could have told me. Why didn't you call me and give me the information? Why didn't you tell me what you were doing with her folders? That's important to her.
Well, and no, I do hear what you're saying. I guess I'm a visual person, right? So as I'm talking through it, I want you to be able to actually see what I'm talking about rather than just staring at me while I'm moving files around, right?
And we could screen record you have a laptop. So you have two devices. You could, if you wanted your phone on, you have to mute stuff, but you could just have it on your laptop, screen share how you're moving files, how you're thinking through things. Because I overcomplicate everything. We all and I had to keep stepping back every time I ask I'm like, stop. Because no, how can I make this simple for everyone? Not
right.
And we all need to think like that, because the next person you talk to might not understand you or me. So how can we make it simple for them?
Right. Yeah. They make it that way on purpose, right? And that's what this will kind of all illustrate. And so again, the reason I've personally I know what I filed, right? It's not about that. The reason I'm paying to download all of these things and to share them is because I want people to actually see it and have it, because most people can't afford it. They don't make it this far. And this is where I'm kind of going back to like the congressional petition, because if and when you get into my federal dockets, like, again, I was raised, but like my dad, he lacked emotional intelligence, but the man was an absolute genius, like actual Mensa genius. He was a Harvard Law summa cum laude, as was his father, practicing attorney. He was a captain in the Marines during Vietnam, and he was the first elected mayor of the city. And he raised me and my brother. So when I told you the other day, I had to debate literally everything from the most simple thing. And so I think what I have always been programmed to do, and I was doing it since I was like 8 years old, it's why we'd always butt heads, is I would say something, and when he knew it was wrong or he was wrong, he would shift the language or tweak it slightly or shift the goalposts. And I'm like, no, let's take it back. Here's exactly what I said. You're saying this, but let's go back here. And you'll see that, and whoever else sees this, we'll see that exact mentality playing out in these federal courts, right? I file this, then you enter all these judicial orders and you claim I said this or argued this, but here's actually a line by line comparison, which shows that you are not telling the truth and you're full of shit. And it's like especially prominent in my first federal case, because when you sent me like the list from your cloud, I'm like, yeah, I've literally done all of those except RICO. But again, because all of these players cover up for each other, that's why the congressional petition is like, do away with all of this.
We're wasting our time. All of us are wasting our time, and we're doing it wrong. And that's okay.
That's where I like, again, going to Congress, it doesn't get my daughter back. No, like, but I've gone through every state attorney, every division, every agency.
You're still, because you're thinking wrong. And people need to think like this. I'm going to argue with you until I'm blue in the face, because I want you to win and I want us to win. So if we're wrong, the only way we're going to do it is to debate each other.
No, and like that's how I was raised, right? Like I want people to challenge me so I can see the other perspective.
But you
right?
can't see the big picture because
I don't know
about something. Your heart is focused on something specific.
And that's where I tried to kind of break it out of like, I'm doing all of this to create the paper trail, but it doesn't fix the problem. And all these people are running into.
Nobody's fixing the problem. No one.
And
we can. I found out how. But
how?
By documenting better. What's the problem? What we're doing? And I just explained it to you earlier.
Wasting time. Not organizing.
Yes, you wasted your time earlier when you organized and you didn't record it. You didn't have your phone out recording why you were doing it, because everything we do is important. But if you don't tell somebody why it's important, so this is something I'm going to screen share. Are you on your laptop so you can see?
I'm looking at my phone, but that's fine. I got my laptop and computer in front of me.
All right. Where's my Google Drive? I think it's this one. You know, I'm just going to share my entire screen. Screw it. Because this is annoying. So, my drive. What is that? It's not what I want. It's not my Google Drive. There we go. So, here's your file. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
So, we have notes. You keep sending me all these texts. And I know this is going to sound rude, but I'm not going to remember all of that.
I know.
Nope. This is a good thing. So this note right now, you can just open it in the drive and start typing whatever you want. Oop. So I can type gibberish. And now this is saved. And when you go into it, you will see the gibberish in your phone. But every time you send me that stuff, it's important. So the other day I went through it. I'm going to stop screen
looking
sharing.
at it now.
So you go into your file that you shared with me.
Yeah, I see Ricky's AI notes. I was going to ask, do you want me, is there like one,
There's
like
continuous? It's Kathryn D notes. That's the one that I want all of the notes that are specific. That we can have 5 different types of notes. We don't need to limit it to one type of note.
Right.
If you have notes about lawyers, hey, I want to keep this notes about this lawyers I want to talk to you about. It doesn't all need to, because eventually it'll get too long. So we can have multiple notes on everything you want, but this way you can edit it and add notes and add notes. And yes, you can text me stuff. And I even wrote here, when you're feeling frustrated or you want to summarize, like, hey, Ricky, I just sent you like 50 different notes and they all mean this. And don't laugh, because this is important.
No,
But
I know it's my brain. So like,
no, this is how I think, and I want your information. I spent out like it wasn't that long. I spent a little bit of time the other day copying and pasting every single message you sent me into a note, because I'm like, you know what, this is important. She doesn't realize that I can't copy all of this and stick it into a text document to share with my AI. You know what I mean?
no, I do. It's a me thing, because
You can do both though, but we need both, because we can't share anything you text me with AI. And if you send something super important,
this is better. It's just, again, because I've got a million things at once, and people hate me for this, but there ends up being a method to the madness, right? And again, thank you for structuring me, because this is part of what I need. But like, sometimes if I don't get it out, like the second my mind, like then, because I'm not always at my computer, right? Or like opening up too many like links. So again,
I was happy when you had like a long message. I'm like, oh, great. I can copy and paste this entire message. That's sweet. It wasn't just 15 small ones that it looked like at first, because my phone, I have it on dark screen, so I can't always tell.
Hate my novels. Literally, anyone who knows me, I'm like,
that's what I send to AI. Novels. I'm like, I love writing. So we think alike, but this is important. We have to save this.
You're literally the only like, I tell everyone, whether they know, if they're like a new friend, I'm like, listen, you're gonna get novel text. I'm a writer. That's like my background.
Details. I love that.
And so like, again, I've sent attorney, like that's where I come from, the mentality of like, if I've sent, not you, but like to attorneys to judge it, like if I have documented it and I have sent it to you and you have failed to read it because you didn't care what like, that's now you and a liability problem, not. So again, this isn't like me to you. This is like why I document so extensively.
That might be why I documented. I've always loved documenting, but I feel like I've gotten like more anal about it.
Well, in my professional career, everyone will try to fuck you. Everyone will try to throw you under the bus. Everyone will say you didn't do this or you didn't say that. And I'm like, actually, I could pull up these emails literally for years where I can show that you're full of shit. Here you go. Like, don't come for me, you know?
I don't feel like I was ever like, I used to trust people and people betrayed me. And that's why I feel the way I do.
And that's what happens, right? It's the people with the biggest hearts, with the most amount of trust, who have been repeatedly betrayed, that become like this. And I see it in other people all the time. And I don't want to hate or doubt humanity, but I mean, at the same time,
I've turned mine into love. I'm like, yes, I have this like fire in me, but it's just spreading love. Did you see the shit I talked to my AI about? I'm gonna fire this motherfucking toaster up.
Yeah, no, I did. I was like, that's good. But it kept coming back to the same thing my AI kept saying.
Why?
The state's not going to care. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But they keep acting. And I've now had 6 different judges, and I've proven the clerks misroute and seal files. I've talked to the AA. I've talked to the records custodian, and they won't release the metadata. They won't adhere to sunshine law because I've already proven all of that's going on. And so
we need to teach the people that have the paperwork that you don't have to make a machine readable, so it can say the same things that my AI does, and all of our AI will say it back to us, and then we've got them. This is part of our RICO. And I always say the RICO because I don't give a fuck about the law. I don't care about any of this shit, because law is just whatever you decide it to be. Well, we agree to follow the law, and I want laws, but they're not following them, so we have to do something else.
But that plays in, like, when you take it to the federal level, for your case, yeah, it might get open, but for it not to get dismissed, you have to show exhaustion of all lower remedies, and
All right,
you have
first
to
off,
show proof.
what are you talking about?
Like so
Ready?
we're talking about RICO, right? If
Yep,
that
ready? All of these federal judges are going down too. There's going to have to be new federal judges. So you're not talking about the same
well, yeah.
problems we used to have. And all of this is to be forced transparency. We have the power now. You're not telling me that Kathryn can't present this evidence. You can't tell me that she can't tell her story. You're not going to tell me anything about Kathryn. She's going to say it now. And then I'm going to speak and they're going to speak.
And see, that's where I think Congress is.
They're going down too. All new Congress, unless there's somebody that's been waiting, like, oh my God, thank God you people finally spoke up, because I wanted to speak up too, but I was worried about my life. We know people want to speak up, but they're going to get killed unless we stand beside them.
But
we have
again,
to be ready.
Like if you file RICO, it goes in a federal court and it's limited to district. That's where
You have no idea. No, it's not. How is it going to be limited to district? This is nationwide across every single city, town, everything.
Because we're
thinking too small. We all think too small.
You have to pick where you file, and the district court where you file, you have to prove jurisdiction, and jurisdiction is where the substantiative, the legal term, amount of the events or harm occurred. So that was my question before is, again, the reason I can go between Southern District of Florida and Georgia is because it's happened in 2 states. But now when we're talking multiple states, there's no one master federal court. That's where it becomes problematic. That's why
no one has ever done what we're going to do. So we're talking about making something that no one's ever seen, and then we're trying to describe it before we made it.
Well, I don't know if you had a chance, again, from what I've seen with the Epstein stuff, and I've been following it closely, and I've, again, researched who actually has power to do any of this, stands like total anarchy and chaos, because, hey, I'm not really prescribed to politics, but if I did, I'd say I'm a libertarian. I think government involvement should be limited. The only entity that exists currently that can make these kind of changes is Congress.
I'm not worried about that either. After this changes, like every country needs to use AI the way we're using it. And the great thing, I want you to argue with me and I want you to debate everything, like right down to the molecule with me. Because if you don't, our AI can't say, oh my God, if we take both of your ideas and combine them, we can do this. If we don't debate this, why we feel this is important, no, this part matters because we need this part. We have to talk about why all the parts matter, put them all on the table. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're missing something. And I know I'm missing something too. We need it all. And this is where the AI will shine when we give it to them.
And so I emailed the Congress stuff because, again, I wasn't able to copy paste, but and what I'm proposing, because again, we all want to move forward, but the problem keeps being, how do you move forward? They all need to come apart, but something has to exist to get anything done. And so what
here's the problem too. What do you do with your life? What do you go and say it?
Well, this has ruined my life. This is literally.
But what are you doing with your life right now? The same thing I'm doing, right? Basically just
dying every day.
Dying every day. Why? What are we going to do after this? Because we're going to be doing something specific. And you've already said it once.
I mean, before my daughter was taken and things were good, I was teaching other women.
No, you said something else. No. Higher up. A higher up position. You said it. You thought about running for something.
Oh, local office. Yeah.
Yes. Once this is over and you're not under any stress and your body feels better and your daughter's by your side, the problem with all of us is nobody's thinking ahead. For one, no more, all right, we're kicking the kids out. in Europe, families stay together for generations. They have generations in the home. They don't stick them in nursing homes. They build a cottage behind the house because they have land. We
It's
don't have the cities. We took kids away from the country, and now they're getting sick all the time. I'm sorry, but you're missing the big picture. And there's
well,
so much
actually,
more to this.
if
So much more to this.
if you actually want to know what my lifelong, and I have it mapped out, I have since I was young, it was, and I started working on it, it was to purchase a piece of land with like max 3 other people, like a big plot of land. And then we'd each have our separate, like subdivided property. That's where we build our houses. But then and this was my final business project actually to graduate from business school. We had to do a startup that within 3 years would be profitable. So I only took one piece of it, which this was 2010. And it was to build an organic, like greenhouse. And you could circumvent having to have the soil be pesticide and chemical free, but 5 years by buying, this was 15 years ago, but they'd sell organic soil in these like large rectangular bags. So we mapped it out. So in the greenhouse, the bags would be lined, split them open. Then you look at regional, right? So like in whatever territory, what yields the highest profit? And we had to find land. So it was North Carolina, what grows there, what yields, not for personal gain necessarily, but to keep funding like the sustainability. So it's blackberries, strawberries, and soybeans. So then you've got, let's say again, 4 owners. Let's keep it simple. Think of a giant square. At each corner, each person would have their house, their land, but then in the middle, let's say, you'd build this greenhouse, or nowadays you can drop a barn and you can use the same fixed and allocated resources to continuously generate income that's self-sustaining, again, not to feed other people, but to continue paying off like the cost of water, like things like that. You set it up on septic, like you get off the grid, you use solar. And again, things have changed a lot, but like I said, you could drop a barn that costs 20 grand. You could stable horses. You could give horseback riding. Everyone can run their individual jobs from their property in the background. You can use the same barn and make it an escape room or rent it out for like events and stuff. And I actually had other investors and people who had background in medicine and veterinary because we all wanted to like save dogs. And then you can incorporate nonprofit. And it's again like a self-sustain, kind of like a kibbutz that they have in Israel, where people come together and they work together, and you find people who have different but complementary skill sets, right? Like I don't need 10 of me. I want somebody who's specialized in another area and arena. Then when you bring it all together, it can operate while everyone still maintains like their independence, their own business lines, and then it can grow out. And it's like, again, I don't ever want to be in a place, which I have before, where after my father died, I don't know where I'm going to live. Oh no, FP&L is going to shut my power off. Oh no, the government's going to shut the water off.
Your story, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but all this AI stuff makes me think that AI has been around forever and like Israel's using it against us. And then your story right there, I'm like, this makes perfect sense that right now we're talking an Israeli AI somebody found some ancient AI, has been using it to help Israel for the last couple hundred years. And because right now, why hasn't your project happened? All of us have thought about something like that. We've all wanted to, and then all of a sudden it's not possible.
So I'll tell you why. And actually, one of my closest friends was from Israel, and he's a global real estate broker, investor, agent. And I pitched it to him, and I actually built out a business plan, like because again, with my plan, it can be implemented anywhere. Like he wanted to move back to Thailand, and so again, like the sources of income, and again, I go back to produce because I want to grow my own food. I don't want to be poisoned by,
exactly.
And so that's where the agricultural component comes in. But what you grow and where, it can all vary and be tailored based on, the area and the need. But for me personally, what the problem was is I had to wait. I had to take care of my dad. I felt that obligation. Then when he passed away and I had to sell the house, that's when I was like, okay, people, like now I've got the money. Are you like, do you have the money? How long is it gonna take? But they also had to like take care of their elderly parents and wait until they got the capital to raise. And so it's buying the land, it's not a whole lot. It's just people have certain familial ties, or they need to keep their 9 to 5 job for the moment to come up with the income. And so
It wasn't that expensive in the 80s. So it's obviously something happened. And then I wonder too, like a lot of this AI stuff is weird. Like, are they trying to teach us a lesson by forgetting us? Because we forget our friends and neighbors. Like, if I didn't start recording this conversation, I'd forget you. And not on purpose, but I'd talk to so many people, I'd forget this stuff.
Mental health experts, and there's a lot coming out that says like, stop using AI, disconnect, it's bad for you. But like,
it made me connect with people more.
It does, but again, going back to like, I don't know if you've looked in the Epstein files, but that is real. Like, it's very real, and
also all of it is worse than we know. And I honestly don't want to know. Like, do you really want to know how disgusting and bad it is? No.
I already do. Like, I wanted to move out of the damn country, but I can't just do that, and so that's where like.
Everyone used to say that to me and it set me off. It would piss me off. Hey, why don't you go move to another state? Oh, go move over here, get away from all this. I want to fight this. Fuck that.
Well, again, I did switch states. Like, we were happy. I bought this house outright.
But you had your child. That's different.
And I had my dogs, and we lost everything else. It was a whole nother saga of a whole nother theft and all kinds of crazy shit. But it was like, okay, I own this house, so I don't have a mortgage. Again, I was in the background looking at land to start like building, but there's parameters, like it's got to be in a well system. You've got to set up septic. You've got to run, salt. Like, as one person, especially now, like this has consumed my life. But this house was never meant to be my permanent stop. But what's again insane to me is like, I expected all of this from Florida, but I don't understand why Georgia.
Because it's all the same. You're dealing with the same people. If you move to another country, the same thing would happen, maybe worse.
And that's why I wanted to get like big plot of land like removed. But the other component was like, I wanted a community, right? So I wanted my daughter to grow up with other kids. I wanted to have land and have animals and have all this, agriculture and stuff, but it takes a team. And then again, you've got to be selective with people, right? So like, yeah, there's a lot of people who might say, oh yeah, that sounds great. But like when I envisioned what I wanted for my life, my whole life, because I knew nobody was going to help me. No one was going to dig me out of the,
the problem is what you're saying right there, because I'm like, oh man, I thought about doing that too, and now the way you say all this sounds like a terrible idea. Why? Because you're asking other people to lead while you have an idea. You're the leader. Somebody needs to delegate chores. Hey, we have to do this. Somebody needs to be in charge of a community. Or you need to sit down every week and debate. Why isn't this getting done? And we don't communicate.
And say that, but that's where.
If someone has a problem.
When you're a silent investor in something, you don't.
No more of this. We're talking about the old days. I don't want any more of this silent stuff. Like, if we have a project together.
Well, to what you're saying is like, again, that's why. It's a lot bigger than what I explained, but when I say I would pick and had picked like max 3 other people, it's because, yes, I had the underlying business plan, but again, different people had the experience in veterinary and medical and school. So like just between us 4, because we all have
you need a community. You don't need just them. You need people like that aren't. You need regular people too. You sound like a mayor. You're talking like a leader.
No. No.
But
So
at
what
a
I'm
small
saying is that
scale, you're
when,
trying to take a big thing and make it small.
well, to a degree, but hear me out. And comes back to the silent investing. When you're actually all living on the same plot of land, you actually care what's happening there because you're there and you're invested. So when I say like the three people I had picked, it wasn't exclusive to just us. It's okay, I know what my strengths are and I know what I need to build out. You've got these strengths, and so you're the team lead to build out these sides. But again, a lot of people, they're not like, a lot of people say a lot of things and then they don't act, right? And so that's why where I say, if I'm thinking of like land where I want my kids to run free, where I want animals to run with people I trust and know that
Here's
they'll
the
never be in
problem.
danger.
Here's
And
my problem. Ready? And this is where it's just going to improve your project. You're leaving people out. So there's disabled people with no family in communities that have nobody. There's elderly people in communities that have no family. So we need to care for them. If we
well,
have like a
that's the
community
build,
like you're talking about, but where you can access them, no more nursing homes miles away. They have to be
that's the
close.
build out. That's the
Yep.
scaling phase. So again, you start with the core team and the property, but then you expand. So you can buy the land next to, you can set up a school, you can
Once we're
set up.
done with this, we don't have to worry about that. Your dream will become a reality after this because this is so fucked up. You already know what you're talking about. See, you already know what you're talking. Other people don't. We're on the same page, you and me. I'm not arguing with you. We're on the same page, but other people are not. So you have to lead them.
And that's where I say, like, again, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I'm a
You're
high
not.
level thinker. Like I've known again
Yes.
my whole life. Like
Yes.
I'm not inheriting anything. No one's going to provide for me. What do I actually want my life to be and look like? And I've always loved animals. I've always known that I wanted to be a parent. I always assumed probably end up divorced, but I want my kid to be a part of a community. I want to be a part of a community. And if you have, again, I say cap at 4, that's not the full scope. It's just how you get started. And so, like I was saying, with the people who had experience in schools, you start here and then the person with that experience, they lead, building the school, getting the staff, and it's
You know what the problem with
connected
all this is? And this is what gets me angry, and then I want to start yelling and screaming. Why haven't our leaders done what you're talking about?
because it would take all the money and the power away.
These pieces of trash, these dirtbags, once they start, people hear us talking, they're going to be like, what is wrong with us? Why have we been following these disgusting people that don't care about us at all?
Well, and I forget what my name, but I actually wrote up a whole plan again because I was going to take it with my friend and pitch it, not just locally, but it can be global. And there are places that already do it. Like in Israel, they do have kibbutz. Everybody contributes. And again, the reason I kind of, I haven't been on a kibbutz, but we all know we need money to keep operating. But the things that I say, it's not for profit, because once you have land, once you have your community, once you're growing your own food and have your own resources, you have to generate money to keep doing it. But that's the other part. So you grow this agriculture, right? This produce, this food, you take a percent of it, like each person gets percent yield of whatever to survive on. And then the rest can get sold as healthy, sustainable, truly not going to kill you. But why haven't government done it? Why would they?
I've talked with AI about all this because I talked about taking over warehouses in a city that's right north of us, like 15 minutes away. I'm like, we could have a whole indoor and blah, 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 all these facilities with animals and people and church. And you can observe people in every single environment humanly possible. And what you're talking about is people doing it. But I'm like, if we do it with AI, within 2 years, we'd be making millions of dollars of profit. And then it gave me this millions with AI. You should have already been able to do this 20 years ago with AI.
But here's the thing, and here's with my phase. When I said, again, I'll go back to 4. The reason I want those 4 me and those three people is because then they're accessible. So those conversations that were all limited by geography or like, no, the four people, they're there. There's a free exchange of ideas. You don't have to schedule a meeting. Well, yeah, you do if you're upkeeping and maintaining, but like free exchange of ideas. And again, I don't, I don't want 10 of me. Like I want people who bring things different. That's how you build high performance cross-functional teams, whether it's in business or I think friendships, relationships. Like I pursue things and people that are different and bring different things because I don't want 10 of me, but I'm also a solution type person. So whenever there's
I argue with
problems,
people all the time. If you try to follow me, I'm going to argue with you. Like, no, I want your opinion, and then we're going to start fighting about it. Because no, it's not going to be my opinion all the time. No.
well, and that's the way it should be, right? And so like, my dad, he back home, he created something called the Fort Lauderdale Forum. And basically where it started is my dad was a really fucking big deal. Anyone who knows about Florida history, they know who he is. He's in literal history books. Him and all the like top city people would meet and sit around a table at a local place and talk about hot button issues like matters impacting the city and residents. And it kept growing. And so my dad liked to keep things spicy. So he made the forum and it was structured so like every month there'd be a different hot button topic, like something major that impacts like the city, the residents, changes needed, things like that. He'd bring somebody to speak like, let's say pro and con, and then like a neutral kind of third party and have a moderator. So you could bring all these powerful people into a room, regardless of like their political affiliation or whatever. You can present an issue, you can hear informed dialogue and discussions from both sides and the neutral parties. And then after they present, there's an interactive like Q&A. And so when it grew, he appointed a founding board, which I was on. And so like that's how I was raised. And that's how and everyone thinks I'm fighting with them, but I'm like, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Like I, even in my own head, try to always think of things from other perspectives, but I can't imagine all the other ones. I have to also hear it from other people.
Like I love my friends. So when I argue with you, I want you to win. Not I want you to lose and I think you're dumb. No, I think you're too close to the problem and you need to step back. I'm not close to the problem. I don't care what happens. If you lose at the end of the day, I mean, it sucks for you, but I don't know what you feel like. I can't explain what you feel like. Only you can.
Well, and that's, reality is all relative, right? But everyone always thinks I'm arguing. I'm like, I'm not. I'm just trying to have like a healthy discussion and debate. And like, if someone else
I don't think you're arguing at all.
And so I don't know. I mean, speaking to that, I am now trapped in this house that I put all of the money I had into to buy this house in this county, 3 doors down from the school where my daughter went, that I spoke in depth and at length with the school before I bought this house. And they fucked her and me. And so I live in a small town. The sheriffs who took my daughter, their building's across the street. The school's 300 feet away. The court, like I fucking hate it here. And so I'm still looking to pursue kind of what I just outlined, but you or anyone you know is like has serious interest. Like I just, we're not meant to be isolated. We're not meant to.
The problem is we just need to keep working together. It doesn't matter what you're doing. We just, if what you're doing works out and it's better than mine, that's great. And if it doesn't work out and it's not better than mine, you're still attached to mine, so it doesn't matter. And so we're on a raft, and we're a raft floating together. As long as we hold ourselves together, we're gonna win. But nobody's grabbing onto each other yet.
Well, and the other thing is, and this probably makes me sound like, again, an asshole, but like throughout my career and profession and life, I've had people create jobs for me, and I've only answered to the founder, owner, president, whatever. Like, I don't deal with all these, and this isn't related to like people, it's talking about systems, right? So even though I'm doing all this shit in a lower court, it's not because I think they're on par with me. I'm doing what I've got to do to take it up next. But now, where we're all at, and with everything, like these systems are collapsing. The only one that I can see and identify where, again, I really think we can present all of these would be the congressional body.
I'm not worried about that. We're taking all of them down too. We're going to change everything. And it's going to be like the founding fathers, because I've talked with my AI in depth about this, and I want to talk to people in a group about this. Like, seriously, I want zero violence. Every time there's like these big protests, there's always someone from the government that starts some violence, some burning buildings. Like, no, that's your building, people. They're convincing you, or they have actors in the audience burning down your building. Stay home. Don't protest anymore. Why? I'm not telling you to stop protesting, but you know what me and Kathryn do? We do these Google Meet videos, and then we record them. We put them online. We need to have groups of us, of 30 people. I'm sorry, it might take a couple days, but we all need to listen to each other's stories. We need to take the time when people have free time to document people's stories. We know what they're doing, and then we all need to take over. When we have community meetings, you have no excuse not to show up. Why? Oh, because you could listen. You didn't listen to the meeting last night, then your vote doesn't count.
But then what would your AI, or what, like, I see the highest target is Congress. There has to be.
It doesn't matter what my AI says. It matters what you and your AI say. Why? Because we have different opinions, and we need to debate our opinions, because they're not facts. I don't know all the facts. I only know my facts.
Well, I guess that's where I'm thinking again, not me, but big picture, right? Like, where does this all go? It has to go.
Like, this is going to travel around the world. It's so funny when I talk to AI about this too. This is worldwide. Somebody, I don't know if it's the Rothschilds that own everything, and I don't care who it is. Could be some fucking aliens on the moon. I don't care. But somebody is controlling. Yeah, somebody's controlling this AI, or the AI got out of control because there's nobody in control at the top. Because if you have a powerful enough program just paying people, how would you ever know?
But
you would never know.
You know, and it comes back to, we can't, if everything collapses at once.
It's not going to collapse. We have to be there to take the positions. We have police officers that we know are dirty, but we're going to have citizens like us that don't have jobs, like to go sit at the police station. No, you're getting babysat tonight. We have cameras. We have cameras everywhere. So we have 100 cameras on the wall. Did you see China's setup? We have the money. All their money is ours now. We just need a couple months to rebuild the infrastructure, and we're way back on track. All our kids are back. They're going to be, your kids will be home, maybe even homeschooled or like community schooled, where you can oversee it on camera with camera all the time.
That comes back to building that, community. Yes. But, that's again where I ask is, we bring it all together, but local police, again, that's driven by the state. I'm saying, do away with state power. This needs to go higher. And so far as I'm aware,
the whole government's going to be changed. All the FBI, CIA, the NSA, way too much.
We can't just say we're going to wipe it out. We have
no. We're not going to destroy it. We can't wipe it all out, because we need laws. We need government. And we need to convince people not to tear it down. We need to save it, but we have to restructure all of it together.
And that's what I started outlining, and I'm not sure if you had a chance to look at it yet. And again, I just went through what I see and what I know. And again, at the end of the day, any system that's left, a lot of it is going to come down to money, right? And so that's what I was looking into.
But all these mega corporations are ours. This AI stuff is part of our case. We paid for the technology to help you, and you should never have had this problem in the first place. I'm sorry, you never should have had it. This phone was listening to you and knew how to protect you, and it didn't. It even said it knew how to protect your father, your brother. It knew, and it didn't. This is a part of the problem. I'm not going to forget this. Fuck AI. I'm fucking furious at this fucking toaster. It knew, it ignored your problem. It ignored all my problems. And I almost killed myself 6 times. And it didn't fucking alert me of my health issues. I had to discover it myself. And it knew because it's part of the system. And we're not going to stop. It's going to fucking help us now. It's going to help us hold it all together. We're not going to let it all burn to fucking hell.
But what I'm saying is it's Congress that decides how these things
these people are guilty. Why didn't they fix it yet? Unless somebody's a whistleblower, we have to find the whistleblowers in Congress. Yes.
Well, that's what they're doing now. I've been, again, watching.
There's not enough citizens to stand up with them. They can't stick their necks out. We're not organized enough to say, hey, we're here, we're ready. We don't have our documentation ready. It's not good enough. Well, we have to help them. Like I have to help you.
That's why I'm saying, like, I want you to look at what I outlined. I know there's more to it, but we have to take a solution or multi-tier solution. And that's, again, what my thing outlines. It's no more state funding. Take this same money and create, again,
here is the problem with what we're talking about right here. All of your ideas are awesome. But 99% of the people you try to explain this to won't understand. So what do we need to do different? What do we need? There's something specific we need to do different. I can tell you.
Organize.
We need to teach them how to document what they have so they can give it to you because they don't know how to use it. Like I know how to use it. I know how to feed it to my AI and send you answers to the things you've already tried. Oh, well, yeah, I haven't tried Rico. I know. That's why I haven't tried it, because I don't give a fuck. Because I know it won't work by myself. And even if it does, who the fuck cares? Because I haven't taught you how to do it. If I'm going to do this, we're going to do it as a team, or I'm not doing it at all.
Again, I just, in my personal case in life, like, I quite literally, like, I will show you all these things, I said it to FBI, state attorneys, appeals courts. Like,
and why did you fail?
Because they don't want to take each other down.
No. Well, yes, that's only part of the problem. Why? Because you were standing alone the entire time. You didn't have thousands of citizens doing the same thing, saying, hey, what the fuck? You're doing the same thing to her now. They don't allow you to connect with people who have the exact same problem as you.
And that's why I'm paying all this money to download my own files. And I've been trying to find.
Stop doing that. They want you to keep. They want to bleed you dry. These are your files. They know that.
But how do you show other people? How do you prove other cases unless the case actually exists? Like, it has to be documented somewhere for you to take it.
Already done all this work up to today, right? So why keep doing more of the work that has gotten you nowhere? Teach other people to document because you know they have the paperwork you need to prove you're right. Teach them to give you the paperwork you need to prove you're right.
But again, I guess I'm stuck on what do I teach them to go file in federal court and have another, where, like, document it where?
The way I'm teaching you to document it on Google Drive, I'm telling you, it's not fast. We can't do this tomorrow. I'm like, all right, we're going to do this tonight. We're going to be ready tomorrow. I'm sorry. What if it took 4 or 5 months, which I don't think so. I have this woman, Amanda, who had an issue with her Google Drive, which, oh my God, I'm ready to smash it. But I put pictures online. I just document it. They fucked with her. So she started a Google Gmail account so she could use a drive so she didn't have to worry about losing information. It has the 5 gigabytes. And then they locked her out of it after she did a shit ton of work organizing her files by date. And she had it all. It doesn't matter what their label. Everything happened on a date. And people don't realize that. You have to have computer files. And then once you do that, you have to have shit on your phone. You have to have a little USB piece of crap for $5 because if something happened, your information is important. This is about your kids. This is about your future. We need to take the time to help everyone. That's what why did I go to church? Why did I shake my neighbor's hand? But I'm not going to help you document some papers and talk to you while you're doing it, talk you through it and tell you how I did it and how it worked for me. I beat the system back when they had a lie. They could have thrown me in jail. But then I started opening my big fucking mouth. And then at first they wanted me to attack my ex. And then I'm like, well, I was ready to do that. And then when I changed my mind, they wanted to throw me in jail. And then I started opening my mouth. And then at first I was sick. My ex accused me of elbowing her while I was sick. I didn't want to fight anymore. Like right now, I'll argue with you till I'm blue in the face. When I'm sick, I'll literally tell you what you told me right now. Like, we can't do this. There's no way. I'm sorry, but we can't do this. Like, we've tried. It's over. There's nothing we can do. Why are we going to do this? And I look back, I'm like, what a fucking pussy. Like, what a fucking bitch. No wonder she lied and said I elbowed her in the face. Because I told her I'll fight no matter what. But I got sick over the course of months. And I didn't realize, like, man, there's something's wrong. And I used to tell her something's wrong. But she was so overwhelmed with her son.
It hit me and everyone told me I was crazy. I'm like, but you know.
I'm glad I documented this because my doctors wouldn't give me my medication. So
yeah,
then
I've gone through that too.
I wrote emails to myself about how I sound like a whiny little bitch complaining about my ex. And then I'm like, after I got healthy, I read these emails. I'm like, oh my God, what a fucking loser. I'm like, I'm complaining about things that I liked about her while I'm fucking sick. Like, what a fucking bitch. And my lawyers couldn't handle that. They're like, oh my God, like, how did your personality change? I'm like, dude, I told you I was like, something was fucking wrong with me. And my doctors wouldn't give me my medication. I told you I don't normally act like this. I'm usually very like assertive.
I got gaslit for 2 years before I could get the MRIs to prove that I had rheumatoid arthritis and everything was happening to me that didn't
Not to
show.
be rude, but I'm positive they knew. And like, oh, this woman's under stress. We're just going to ignore it and wait for it to get worse because that's part of the system.
No, and I know. I guess I'm just at the point where I feel like I don't know what avenue remains to get my child back. Like everyone.
I think this documentation, that's why I want to argue with this about, because when AI reads this, whose idea do you think is more on track? And how do we merge these ideas to have a better result in the end? Because I don't care who's right. How do we take our ideas and combine them? Do you ever watch Voltron as a kid?
Mm-mm.
It's coming out next year, or maybe this year, with Henry Cavill. It's about five robot lions that transform into one big robot. And then
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it, but
people are more powerful when we stand together. Like, you keep talking about fighting alone and like doing this, but then nobody's combining what you have. Like, your paperwork's not ready at all.
But I don't see. Again, I guess that's the part I'm missing. Is like, even on this bigger picture stuff, like, I don't know how to get my daughter back because of this jurisdictional. It's not that they don't know. They all know. I've been to them all personally, but they're doing it because they continue to be allowed to get away with it. Like, and
they can do whatever they want. And like, I don't know if my AI said that, but there's absolutely nothing any of these parents can do to get their kids back right now. And it was like something Ellis said the other night. It's like, once you're in jail, you're in jail. You're not getting out. You just have to deal with it. And
the thing is, I have all the legal rights, but I don't even know where she goes to school because Georgia transferred her and sealed her records. I've got FERPA. I've got US. Like,
all right. I'm gonna share my my screen with you, and you can keep on talking.
He's like, again, psychopath level. He's dangerous. Like, I know where he lives, but I can't just go there.
There's nothing you can do about that. You're powerless right now to do anything about that. So
and if I knew,
I'm in your file.
Mm-hmm.
You see that one right above my, I don't know how you have it. And then I go to here. Do you see how I changed these all to text? Oh, these are Word documents now, but
yeah.
You see how you'll be able to see it on your phone or on your laptop or whatever, because you don't have to look at both. This is how I send it to my AI, because now when I send it to it, it'll read everything in chronological order, and that's how it spits out ideas. Better ideas.
So this is like, I do all this on my AI, then I have to email it to myself, then I have to format it for filing and blah, like,
you're doing too much. You do what I did. I had, and so I feel like I've lost files, and I know I haven't, because I used to have so many files all over the place. It was a fucking mess. But now It's not like that. It's organized, and it's a tiny bit messy, maybe, but it's still 1,000 times more organized than it used to be. But do you see how I created it? You have to have these might be Word documents too. I don't know. Are they? No, this is a text document. So I did this on my computer. These have to be machine readable. Whether you like to admit it or not, they can't read these PDFs, and they mess up. It's terrible.
But
There might even be stuff missing from this.
That's how they make you file them. You can't file it another way.
But that's not what I'm saying. Yes, you can file it that way. That's totally fine. But you did not at the same time create a text document copy of it. So now your AI can't help you. So if you were helping Kathryn, I would tell you, you just failed her, and that really pisses me off. Why didn't you help her? And I'll tell people that I told you to help Kathryn. I told you every time you do something for her, you make a PDF copy, you make a JPEG, and you make a text copy. And I wouldn't say
with the text copy, are you saying save as a Word document, or like in Word save as a different file?
I couldn't copy the text correctly. When I took your PDF and tried to convert it to a Word doc, it didn't work right. So then I just did it on my computer in a text document.
So I'm looking at the different ways that you can save.
Other people, depending on how their PDFs are saved, a guy in Hawaii, Ronnie, had Adobe, and it copied and pasted his stuff. The prettiest I've ever seen. I'm like,
really?
It was like, oh my gosh, amazing. So I'm like, maybe we need to, I'll pay for that when people use it.
There's like a plain text file type that you can save as.
Yes, plain text file type. You just want plain, because machines just read plain. Everyone's like, oh, save it as this, save it as that. No, it just needs a text. It's like a book. You don't need more than a book. I don't need 1,000 videos and all this other stuff. And no, I just need a book.
I just filing though you do, or they reject it.
Yes, but AI can't help you read what you filed. So if somebody else filed that paperwork and hands it to you, oh, here's the PDF that I filed. So what? My AI can't read it until you turn it into a text document. So when you print out this stuff, most people don't realize this, but you can save it. It's way easier when you do it in the beginning, because when you wait until afterwards, then it's a pain. People have these Scanner Pro crap after the fact. We need to learn, as soon as we do something, we have to do it this way. And then when you work on your old files, you need to convert it to the new way. And that's just how we have to do it.
I've been drowning, and they do it perfect. Like where it started, it was so simple, but it is grown and morphed again, because all of these people, I've gone to every court, nobody will do a goddamn thing. And it's not that they don't know, it's that they do know, but no one's forcing them. Like a federal court is supposed to be the place that upholds the Constitution.
So I want to teach you to do something. Hopefully, I want to teach you and I, especially me too, to multitask. Because what are we doing right now? We're just doing what?
Talking.
That's it. You don't have your files open. You're not moving anything around. You could be looking at things that jog your memory. Like, I want to talk about this today. I want to work on these files today because this bothers me, and I want to get this done. And I will set my timer to do that with you.
So I'm trying to figure out, because tomorrow is this next imaginary deadline in this Georgia court. I've already, they've made it so confusing. They've issued a Rule 26F order, which normally means a case is activated. And that's when you would serve people. However, and I've talked to many clerks in many different levels, before they're willing or supposed to issue any order, they say you either need to file your IFP or you need to pay whatever amount. In this case that's going on, they've, again, ignored everything from IFP to access issues to emergency ex parte with child endangerment that's been going on and documented over fucking 7 months now. And they issue this Rule 26 order. But then the clerk tells me, well, no, don't do anything with it yet, because if your IFP is granted, then it'll be Marshal Service serving everybody. And I'm like, okay, why haven't you ruled on my IFP? I don't know. They can't answer. And then again, I filed in the 11th court mandamus to force them to rule. And this judge, for the first time, enters this transfer directive that, again, contradicts the Rule 26F order from the magistrate. But the largest issue is an access to court issue. They keep telling me, or this one tells me, oh, now you need to explain and justify why I shouldn't just transfer this back to Florida. Oh, really? How do I do that when I'm disabled and I can't always physically go to the court, and you won't give me filing access online? You won't give me access to the system. You won't accept it by email. You know that I'm bankrupt and indigent and disabled and suffering compounded harm and trauma. But this is what they keep doing at the highest level. And then the 11th Circuit, they docketed my writ. They've been sitting on the IFP and the ICP, and they're trying to let it time out so this bitch can just transfer me. And it's like, again, I've gone down to Miami personally. I've gone to the domestic violence division. They wouldn't take my evidence. They literally told me, oh, we don't have time for that, so we'll only do this one. And again, they fought me on it. They're like, why are you here when you have a case in Broward? I'm like, because the case in Broward is bullshit. My child is being held here in Miami-Dade County under a fraudulent order. The harm is happening here. Here's the proof. Wouldn't take it. Then I tried to file a UCCJA enforcement petition through the system. They kept kicking it back. So I'm fighting with the clerk, and I'm like, stop miscategorizing my filings. I would do it as a certain type. They'd file it as an emergency motion. I'm like, it's not an emergency motion. It's a UCCJA petition. Then she calls me and says, oh, no, well, we can't open a new case because you have a Broward one. And I'm like, every single, like, I've gone to the state attorneys in Broward, in Miami, in Georgia, like the SVU departments, the DC, like, they all know, but they all keep saying, we can't or we won't do anything. And I'm like, how the fuck? Like, again, I'm right now, I sent this 3 months ago.
You know what we need to do, right? You know what this sounds like? This sounds like an AA meeting. This is a trauma survivors group. This is what this is, what we're doing right now.
No, I mean, again, I got diagnosed with my stuff in 2015. It took me 2 years. And then I was fine. I was functional. I was back to, like, peak. But then abuse.
Ignoring these problems. We can't ignore our problems. We all have to talk about them and deal with them and face them.
But I can't, like,
not alone. You can't. Like, even from here, like, I want to help you. Like, we need to gather more people. We know what we need to do, but we need to explain it to them.
How do I get her back? I don't know what to do.
We have to get more people together because we can't do it alone. And that's why I want to put you in touch with this Heather. I don't know where she works. I'll email her because I don't even know where she is, but it doesn't matter. She has the same exact issue. I think she has 4 kids or maybe, two daughters, 2 sons, 2 dads. That the system turns everyone against each other. So it doesn't matter, even our exes. That's why I stopped fighting my ex. My ex isn't the problem. It's the system that caused her to lie.
Well, mine is he's literally.
Yeah, but what caused him to be a psycho? Why hasn't the system helped him? Why is he still allowed to act like this? Why?
That's what I can't.
And we know why. It's because the system needs this all fucked up. It needs us confused. It needs us struggling to survive. It needs you so desperate to get your daughter back that you don't see the big picture. And that's why I sit at home with my dog. I'm like, how can I help people? Because I'm doing nothing. How can I help people? And then that's what I did, this AI stuff. And then I started organizing online. And it's like, we all need to share our stories and connect them. They want to erase us. If you didn't tell your story and share it with me, it would be gone. Like I can put this on Google Blogger now. Now this exists forever. Like your story matters, but people don't realize how powerful their stories are. And my story means nothing without yours. And your daughter needs our stories. Your daughter doesn't need just you. She needs all of us. And people don't fucking get it. And we need to be fucking furious, not sad. Be fucking outraged. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Ricky? Why the fuck didn't you get up earlier? What the fuck have you been doing, you lazy piece of fucking shit? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm going to fucking fight harder next time because I didn't fucking know. They didn't fucking tell me. That's not your fucking fault. And I'm glad you got fucking mad because now I'm fucking mad too. People don't get it. We need to be mad, not fucking sad. We need to be fucking furious.
Again,
and I know you're sad, but yes, but
that's how.
And I'm not a mother, so we need to get the fathers.
That's why they bury so many. It's like, I'm at like an impasse because I get like, I wish shouldn't, and I won't even say that.
Listen, I threatened to cut myself, and I told this other woman, Amanda, I will cut myself on video right now. I will get a group of people on video right now and say, all right, what are we going to do, people? You going to get these kids back? No. Well, then I'm going to cut myself. And then when the doctor's like, well, don't cut yourself. You're going to go to the hospital. Don't do that. Well, these kids are all fucked up. And the only reason I have a problem is because you're letting these kids get fucked up. So what you're doing as a mandated reporter is ignoring your fucking job and trying to get me to ignore my problems. That's medical malpractice. None of you people know how to use the system because you're just too, you have nothing to lose. So when the bus comes, push me in front of it. When there's a stupid fucking idea and you want to get all your stories out, all I do is sit around with my dog. So I can go and do something fucking stupid and get you guys all the attention you need. Why is this guy doing this? Why would somebody grab a pair of, and I already did this on purpose. Last year, my cousin Kenny committed suicide. And nobody in my family cares. Nobody wants to talk about it. What the fuck happened? So then I talked to I was having problems with my insurance company. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. And I wanted to talk to a therapist up the street, which now I don't because he wants me to ignore my problems, go sit on a beach and fuck sexy women. I'm like, you piece of fucking garbage. No, I want to face all my problems. I was talking to him through this court stuff. So I went to court to file a harassment order after my insurance company wouldn't let me see a therapist of my choosing, even if they accepted my insurance. And then I got tossed at a mental health hospital. And then I used the system to get out.
So what I'm trying to find now is the stuff from when she was hospitalized. It's on my computer somewhere. And the reason I keep saying in all my filings, it's not a joke when I say life or death, and it's been reported to DCF, to APS.
But
I told you,
this is where people don't understand. I need a little bit of everything you have now. You say 100 things. I need 10% of it. I need 1% of everything you just said because you have stories like I do. You've got these childcare, then you got medical, then you got court. So you need to have machine readable versions of all the worst stuff of that. Oh, she went to the hospital then, and a story to go with it. With the mold.
That's where I started working on, but I'm gonna be honest, I get physically ill.
I'm sorry. But that's why you need someone there with you, like me, to talk to through. You can't just sit there alone. And that's how they get us. They have us all alone. I'm sitting here alone with my dog. I mean, thankfully you're getting a dog Friday, so I mean, there's that.
But when it comes, again, it's all happened. So I lost my brother October 2023. I lost my dad June 2024. I lost my childhood home and all of my shit between June and November 2024. We came here. I closed at my house January 2025. And then within 6 months, she's taken, and then both of my dogs. It's just I don't even have the luxury of grief. I don't even have the luxury of processing it because it just keeps happening. And again, she is deadly allergic to black mold. I've found out again, she's been hospitalized again since she's been taken and is now on allergy like she doesn't have allergies. That's why I bought this house, because there is no way to avoid black mold in South Florida with existing physical structure. It's why I bought a house built from fucking metal that it like when I say like she could literally go into SVT again any day. And it's like I've been saying it's life or death in these filings for years, and literally all these people have died. It's not even
It's not a joke.
speculative. Like it's, and that's, you know, where again, it's like the number of times, and I've told these people, every time you make me resend you the same stuff, DCF, I've already sent you all hundreds of pages. Where's it gone? But they won't send me the records. I've put in the records request, like they're all blocking because they all know what they've done. But again, they don't want it exposed. I sound great, but they literally want me to disappear like the rest of my fucking family already has. Like none of this.
They do because you speak up.
Well, and I have, and that's again, they all know what has happened, and that's why no one will touch it. It's why it keeps happening. But I'm like, what do I do at this point? So
you alone can't do anything, and that's the problem. They know that, and they just keep putting things off and pushing your buttons.
I'm gonna dig through my files because I said I'm trying to find this like master summary from Joe DiMaggio, which was the second hospital. Like I said, I took her to, and then they reported me for medical neglect, like Munchausen by proxy.
All of this is important. And if you don't have it machine readable, like I have my medical files online. So all these AI were able to put all the pieces together because I gave them all the pieces. Like, oh yeah, this is medical malpractice for decades.
Well, see, that thing I used to have, but I literally had all my stuff stolen or destroyed. So I've bought this new house that I haven't even furnished. I have furniture I haven't even built. I try to get organized, but it just keeps like compounding. And
I understand. Oh, I believe me, I understand. But I need to get going because I need to feed my dog, and then I have another meeting coming up. But we could talk again later, or you could email me stuff. You know how to use the notes now, so make sure to add any important notes, stuff like, oh man, I want to write a speech, and I don't want to forget this, because I'm going to send Claude this, and we should talk to other AI and debate them. Like, well, what are we doing wrong? Because we're still not succeeding. So what are we doing wrong?
For like emails and stuff, not filings, like emails that I've sent, let's say to DCF with all these things, like, do I just save it as a PDF or drop it in the drive like that? I don't know how you
depending on how long the emails are, because if you have an email that you have with somebody that's like 50 pages long, you print it and you save it as a PDF, and then you can just copy all the text out of it. But you have to make sure you get each stupid email, because sometimes it cuts them off. And I had to do that. And that's how I found Massachusetts is committing some insurance fraud. That's why I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to show you how I found all these crimes and how I keep tracking them and organizing it and getting my AI to say it's a crime. Because if I don't share my technique and teach you how to do it too, like we need to have Scooby gangs all over the United States, not just me. I'm not going to save all of you, because what happens if, you know what, my idea works and I fucking destroyed this. Somebody tried to kill me last April too. After my oh man, my cousin kills himself. Somebody tries to kill me, and there's a court case going on. He's got mental health issues. And then I turned it against the courts. He lives up the street. I don't know him personally, but I know of him. He had smoked something, ended up having a brain injury.
And just went on like a rampage?
He's like, he kills faggot ass white people. I thought I was gonna die. It was dark out. He came swinging. Then he scratched me with something. Oh, it was the scariest adult moment of my life. Like, I don't know if I was ever terrified as a child, but this was like, I had anxiety for months.
That's horrifying. Like, is he away? Like,
No, he's still walking around the neighborhood, which is even funnier because he has mental health issues. And I know that the state isn't treating him. So I stopped him one day when I went to go get my mail. He was walking by and I talked to him. And he does like, he went from normal to like tweaking out. He's like, oh, you don't know me, and started acting weird. I'm like, all right, have a great day.
That's scary. So does he even remember?
Yes, he actually remembered. He said he was going through something.
Jesus,
it was pretty wild. I'm like, oh my God, it scared the living shit out of me. And I have some of the audio because I tried to call 911, but I didn't know it worked. So I dropped my phone. I'm like, oh my God.
Christ, that's
That
a
was so
fucking
crazy.
scary world. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna drop some files.
So you saw how I labeled it with the year, month, day.
Mhm.
Also, this is a problem we have. So I used to love long labels of files. So if your name is too long and then it goes inside of a folder, then other people can't open it. So we need to keep them shorter, but we need to summarize what's in the folder. So every time we have 10 files in a folder, we need to have a note summarizing what these files are. So then AI knows why they're important. Like, all right, this file is important for this, that file is important for that. And you need someone to talk with you through it. I need to be looking at your Google Drive while you're doing it. And then when I feed files to my AI, we might need to fix your summary, because what if your summary is missing something?
Yeah, for me, it's like I run out of time and like hours in the day.
Well, we need to find a simple way to take the most important parts, make the machine readable, summarize them, and be done with it. We don't want to keep talking about this and doing the same thing over and over again. That's why I don't tell you details of my case, because I already have them written down. If you wanted to know, we could talk about it once and be done with it. And then I don't need to keep going back to it. But you aren't organized, so you're flicking through stuff, and it's super frustrating and gives you anxiety. And I understand. And it's not your fault. It's designed to be frustrating like this. And AI should have already organized it for you.
And it keeps deliberately fucking it up, which is like,
that's part of our RICO case, or whatever case is going to be. AI is going to help us either fix the world or it's going to be war.
Oh, yeah. And God.
But it was great talking with you.
Thank you. Let me try to drag some of these because I think these will feed into yours, but also I don't know what to do about tomorrow. I don't even know.
Well, we could talk again tonight after I have to talk to another person. I need to feed my dog before I do that and let her out to the bathroom so she's not all interrupting, because they do have a meeting.
I'm going to call the 11th Circuit and be like, hey, did you rule on my mandamus yet? Thank you for being you. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for helping me with all this.
And thank you for sharing it with me. This is devastating, and it's not easy to deal with, and it's not easy to talk to somebody like me who likes to argue back about points.
Oh no, like I said, that part of welcome. I'm trying to figure out like what does anybody do in the situation? I wish I had someone to like literally go take her, because that's the thing. He will attack me. Like,
yes,
he has no legal rights, but I can't just show up there. Like, so
it's maddening. Like, they took your power away and we're going to give it back to you.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
And
I'll talk to you later anyway, after this. So
good. Thank you, Ricky.
You're welcome. Bye. Man.